All right, everybody. Back here with another breakdown. This time, a couple plays from the Week 3 game. Obviously, did not go as well as everybody was hoping. Kind of gonna break down one play that didn't go well for the offense, and another play that demonstrated some things that they can look forward to, particularly in ways they can use both Christian McCaffrey and Curtis Samuel to stretch the field and make big plays. The first play we're gonna look at here is the sack in the fourth quarter. I want you to notice, let me just rewind this just a bit, and this is sort of just something to point out. I'm not sure, but if you notice at the beginning of this play, Cam Newton seems to be looking towards Devin Funchess, and I wonder if that right arm isn't, right arm isn't giving Funchess some kind of signal to audible this route. What you're going to see to the right slide is essentially a double slant concept, but Funchess, instead of running a slant, is going to run a slant and go. Now, I don't have an angle. The broadcast didn't show anything either. I don't have an angle to know for sure, but I wonder, given that the Saints clearly, as part of their game plan, were driving so hard on slant routes, I wonder if Cam didn't give Funchess a signal to run a slant and go here, which is a quick hand signal. But again, not something I know for sure, but something I just noticed actually and wanted to put on the video. What we're actually going to see here is a blitz from the Saints. So Cam's going to come to the line. They're not really going to show much. You're going to see this corner in nickel here. This guy right over Russell Shepard. He's not really giving any indication that he is going to blitz. Now, even so, your protection scheme should be able to account for at least one and potentially two blitzers. Usually one of those, if there's two, the way you account for that is throwing hot. But here what we're going to see is that the Panthers protection scheme really should have picked this up, even though it wasn't expected. But there was no real adjustment to be made at the line, given that this nickel didn't really tip his hand until right at the snap. Like I said before, what you're going to see here is you're going to see Bird run a slant route through here. And what the defense is going to do is this is a fire zone blitz, so they're going to send 5 with this guy coming on the blitz late. This linebacker is essentially going to rotate over. He actually seems a little hesitant to move this way initially, which is a little surprising. I think he's mostly just reading Cam and reading his body language. And then this safety is going to rotate over the top of this player as well. Now, Brian Baldinger on Twitter posted this video and kind of posted like an instant pause right after the snap and said that the sack was on Cam because he didn't throw it hot when he should have. I don't really agree with that, and let's just watch the play, and I'll kind of get into why. So see Cam's overwhelmed by the pressure and goes down. Now I'm going to rewind it a little bit and look at it kind of slower. So you're going to see Cam catches the ball, turns, and looks to the right side. Now if you pause it, what you can't really see is that A.J. Klein here in the center is definitely reading Cam's eyes and is really going to be moving in this direction. So even if Cam rears back to throw and tries to throw this slant with Russell Shepard moving this direction, probably best case scenario is Shepard hits this and gets completely rocked between the linebacker and the safety rushing down over the top. Worst case scenario is a pick six, and probably most likely is some kind of incomplete pass. So I really can't blame Cam for eating the ball here. That in terms of throwing hot with a linebacker moving in underneath the hot route is a great way to throw an interception. So despite, if you pause the video, if you slow it down, you can make a window look like a window that really isn't there. So you can disagree with me if you want, but given the design of this play that this linebacker is really built to come in here underneath this hot route, the safety is rotating down, I just don't see a lot of utility in Cam making this throw. Now maybe, if Russell Shepard had broken off his route and run a little curl, or they had adjusted the play and he had run this out route here. But for whatever reason, one, they did not see this blitz coming for the snap, and then even if they did, for whatever reason, whether the true slant was the regular hot route they were supposed to run, or they don't have a hot route adjustment for this play, whatever, I don't really know. But let's go ahead and run through this play just real quick, and then we'll take a look at the protection scheme and kind of what went wrong there. So if we pause here, this is going to be your standard 6-man protection. So what's going to happen is essentially, or at least that's what I think is going on here. So essentially what you're going to have is this side of the line, these 3 players who are involved in protection are all going to slide and be responsible to the gap to their left or our right from this perspective of the video. Which means these two players, Darrell Williams and Trey Turner, are going to be what's called solid or big on big, meaning they're going to be blocking a certain man. In this case, Darrell Williams is responsible here, and Trey Turner is responsible here. Okay, and what's going to happen is usually to the solid side with the two players, this back is going to be responsible, and he's going to read from inside out. So he's going to read from this gap here between the center and the guard out to here, and then ultimately out outside the tackle. Okay. What happens is they're going to play some line games here, so even though Turner is responsible for this, he's going to work so far inside that even though Larson is sliding, that he's going to have to kind of help pick that up, and then this player is going to try and loop around here. That's actually protected pretty well. But really where this goes awry is Williams, who is responsible, like I said, here for this edge rusher. He's going to see this nickel blitz coming unsuspectedly, and he's going to react to that blitz and sort of hesitate and wonder if he needs to pick up this outside blitzer. Again, I don't know how they coach this. I can't say for sure, but my instinct is that Williams should not be hesitating on this, and he needs to stay inside and not get beat inside, because what you'll see what'll happen is because he hesitates, he loses inside. McCaffrey, who's reading inside to out, sees that Williams is beat inside and helps here. Now, what should happen is if Williams is solid here, stays inside, protects this rusher, McCaffrey should read these gaps and then end up outside, pick up the nickel blitzer, give Cam time to throw that slant and go that was wide open. Okay? But let's watch the play unfold, and again, you'll see what happens to Williams and why this play ultimately resulted in a sack. Watch Williams. See, he reacts. We'll go back again here. See, watch him. He reacts outside. That gives this rusher an inside gap to beat. We see McCaffrey. He has to help inside. Now you essentially have a free rusher on Cam. Cam tries to escape, but Khalil's right there. He fumbles and is lucky enough to get the ball back. But essentially, you see there that Williams' hesitation is ultimately what causes the breakdown on that play. All right, so now we're going to look here at probably the Panthers' most best and most explosive play that they had on Sunday. Something that's been missing from the offense, I think, as you all know, is the deep ball, is the deep play. Cam unfortunately missed a couple deep opportunities, and I think he's still working off the rust with that shoulder. I think he'll get back in the swing of things as far as that goes. But you're going to see a lot that's really nice about this play. So we're going to talk about the defense first. So what you're going to have here is what looks like from the beginning. They kind of disguise it a little bit, but my guess is Cam was pretty aware that this was going to be cover 4. The thing that's kind of funky about it is that what's going to happen is this defender, let me get my pen here, this defender is actually going to rotate down kind of into this flat area, and then this defender is going to come out here, and he's actually sort of more in this area, but he's going to sort of help over the top given the various route combinations that the Panthers run. But I believe this is essentially a variation of cover 4, especially because you can see the way these corners are aligned. They're looking into the backfield. But there is clearly some kind of pattern matching concept going on because it doesn't exactly look totally like zone. So what the Panthers are going to run here in response is a great cover 4 beater. It's sort of a switch concept, a post wheel with an out and up route from McCaffrey. So what's going to happen is you have Curtis Samuel out here, a very fast player, obviously. He's going to take this corner who's in this quarter of the field deep, and then kind of run this post route to take him out of the zone. Okay. Meanwhile, McCaffrey is going to run with this corner and then run an out and then break up. So if they were running like a true zone, what you would expect is that hopefully this player would end up sort of running with this post route, which vacates this area of the field, and then McCaffrey is free deep. That's sort of what happens, except for one thing that's kind of interesting is this player sort of essentially ends up in what becomes sort of man-to-man coverage with McCaffrey. Like I had said, the Saints were very intent on kind of breaking on some of these shorter routes, so he breaks out hard with McCaffrey, which gives McCaffrey the space to run in behind, given that Samuel had already cleared this zone. So let's go ahead and watch that unfold. Again, see these safeties rotate the snap. Like I said, that safety's going to come down kind of into the flat area, and this other safety's going to come more into his quarter zone. He kind of is watching Cam's eyes, sees that he doesn't really have anything to cover, and ends up trying to help on Samuel's post route. But watch McCaffrey and watch that corner. He goes with him on the out. McCaffrey turns upfield. Cam makes a perfect throw. Boom. And we don't need to worry about the run after the catch here. I want to focus here on Cam's pocket movement as well. What you're going to see here is Ed Dixon is going to allow some pressure on Cam. Luckily, the rest of the pocket has some pretty good integrity to it. So Cam, as he is great at, he's going to sense that pressure, and as long as you give him somewhere to go, he's usually going to make the subtle adjustments necessary. He's going to step up and make that perfect throw. So just watch the way Cam adjusts this pressure here from his left side. So he gets beat. Cam steps up, delivers a perfect pass to McCaffrey. And again, we already went over that concept. And McCaffrey has the run after the catch that he ends up being down on. All right, so thanks for watching. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at MarxisPanther. Let me know how you liked the video. And, if you'd like it, you can send requests, anything you'd like to see in the future.